the resolution to this, which form the schedule to the resolution.
Revert to government business, sir. Order number 12, in the name of the Honourable Acting Leader of the House, to move that the House resolve itself into Standing Finance Committee to consider the grant of sums of money for the service of this island.
Mr. Speaker, move that you do now leave the chair and that this House resolve itself as aforementioned.
The question is that the Speaker do not leave the chair and the House resolve itself into Standing Finance Committee. All those honourable members in favour, please say aye. Those against, please say no. We think the ayes have it.
This Honourable House is now in Standing Finance Committee.
Mr. Chairman, 12A, in the name of the Honourable Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, to move the passing of a resolution to grant the sum of $282,421,214 from the Consolidated Fund and to place it at the disposal of the government to supplement the estimates 2024 to 2025 as shown in the supplementary estimates number 4, 2024 to 2025, which form the schedule to the resolution. Head 10, Office of the President, in the amount of $216.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that Head 10 stand part.
The question is that Head 10 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. All members against, say no. You think the ayes have it.
Head 12, Parliament, in the amount of $2,272,663.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that Head 12 stand part.
The question is that Head 12 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. You think the ayes have it.
Head 13, Prime Minister's Office, in the amount of $55,742,814.
Mr. Chairman, under Head 13, just to draw your attention to a few allocations. As you are aware, sir, during the budget debate, the government announced that we would be providing ex gratia payments to the residents of St. Lucie and St. Peter, as well as providing resources with respect to the maize, accelerating the maize replacement program in the area in order to bring resolution to that, those issues. And therefore, these sums here, in part, cover those payments as well as monies to the Barbados Water Authority to accelerate those works, as well, sir, as to commence the works in Bailey's Alley with a similar situation. In addition to that, sir, the additional resources being placed with respect to the Division of Culture, as you would appreciate, sir, we have a couple of significant programs taking place this year. One is the regathering exercise, sir, and the other is the Carry Festa program, which will be executed in August of this year. The National Cultural Foundation will be executing those programs on behalf of the government of Barbados, and we are advancing resources with respect to being able to cover those particular costs, as well, sir, as 1 million allocated for the independence celebrations later this year. We're able to do these, sir, because we've been able to, as indicated earlier, given the performance in relation to revenue, we are able to make some of these allocations as we've announced in the budget. And therefore, in addition to those, we also provide additional resources to both the Rural and the Urban Development Commission, which, as you know, sir, will merge into the Rural and Urban Development Commission that are effective tomorrow. And therefore, we're ensuring that even with the transition, that the work can continue apace, sir, with respect to being able to address, continue to bring relief to persons who need it. And so, sir, with those few comments, I beg to move that Head 13 stand part.
The question is that Head 13 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 17, Ombudsman, in the amount of $15,000.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that Head 17 stand part.
The question is that Head 17 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 27, Ministry of Tourism and International Transport, in the amount of $10,511,821.
Mr. Chairman, the sums being requested here in part relate to the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center. Sir, there's need for some purchase of equipment as well as upgrade with respect to the capital works for some of these spaces, and in part a refund with respect to equipment that would have been security equipment that would have been purchased earlier in the financial year, which we indicated to the Ministry of Tourism and the Comfort Services that we will allow them to do. These monies will now be able to help them to improve the facilities. In addition, sir, we also providing $1 million to the Caribbean Aircraft Handling Company to be able to purchase additional aircraft equipment to push the aircraft back from the stand, sir. It's called an aircraft pushback tow tractor, and therefore that significant piece of equipment will allow for more efficient operation in relation to Caribbean aircraft handling. And so with those few words, I beg to move to Head 27 stand part.
The question is that Head 27 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 30, Office of the Attorney General, in the amount of $12,761,846.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that Head 30 stand part.
The question is that Head 30 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 31, Ministry of Industry, Innovation, Science and Technology, in the amount of $34,685,440.
Mr. Chairman, some of the monies being requested here, sir, will relate to two key institutions. As you are aware, sir, the BADC, also now known as Export Barbados, sir. We have been investing over the course of the last few years in building more infrastructure, and therefore we are making available in this particular instance the funds to be able to establish a cold storage facility at close to the airport, sir. And as you are well aware, sir, Barbados is working with Guyana and Suriname to be able to help facilitate the, the reduction of our CARICOM food import bill by 25%. By 2025, this is part of that investment opportunity to be able to help with our agro-processing and being able to transport and act as a hub in respect of that particular activity. In addition to that, sir, we are accelerating with respect to the GovTech having been established to forward resources to GovTech to be able to address a number of key security matters with respect to the country's cyber posture, as well as being able to ensure then that the solutions that we are rolling out to upgrade government, that those things can take place with haste. And so those are the primary resources being requested here, sir. And so with those few words, sir, I'd beg to move that head 31 stand part.
The question is that head 31 stand par. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 33, Ministry of Home Affairs and Information, in the amount of $12,158,391.
Mr. Chairman, the money is being resourced here, as you are well aware, sir. We have been going through some reforms related to the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. The government will be providing these resources to be able to improve the digital infrastructure of the entity, to be able to repair as well, sir, have significant repairs to and upgrades to the tower at Sturgis. And so this really is to ensure that with respect to us being able to transition the CBC, that the capital expenditure that is required for that transition to take place is started in haste. So therefore, with those very few words, I beg to move to head 33, stand part.
Question is that head 33 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 34, Ministry of Finance, Economic Affairs and Investment, in the amount of $28,481,534.
Mr. Chairman, in relation to these sums being requested here, sir, and allocated, I should say, as you know, Hurricane Beryl caused significant damage to the coastal infrastructure, and we have been disbursing funds under the contingency head to be able to have the Bridgetown port effect the repairs of the breakwater, and therefore this is just the latest installment in relation to the sums associated with that in part, sir. Secondly, as announced in the budget, we will be capitalizing the Agricultural Development Fund to the tune of $5 million to ensure that the climate smart agricultural initiatives announced in the budget can commence in relation to being able to have the vertical climate smart infrastructure in place to be able to help transition the agricultural sector to be able to cope with respect to the issues related to climate change. And so, sir, with those few words, I'd like to move to head 34, stand part.
Question is that head 34 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 35, Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, in the amount of $28,298,642.
Mr. Chairman, these funds being requested here really continue to support the work of the Ministry of People Empowerment. Some of these resources here, sir, relate to funds that cover old age pensioners, sir, with respect to travel on the Transport Board buses, as well as other support that the Welfare Department ordinarily provide. In addition, sir, as announced in the budget, We will be making these sums available to the National Assistance Board to be able to implement the construction of, in this instance, 2 facilities for the elderly, sir, and 1 facility with respect to provision for persons with disabilities, as we have committed and as we've come to the Parliament to be able to announce. And therefore, these $18 million specifically will allow us to be able to start having those facilities being made available in order to ensure that we have additional infrastructure and opportunities for those amongst us, those elderly persons who are independent-minded, to be able to do so, and at the same time, sir, to be able to protect those who are most vulnerable, especially when the parents are no longer with us, and therefore that there is a structure in place to be able to look after those persons with disabilities who will be the survivors in this matter. And therefore, we are happy to be able to have these monies allocated in order for that work to start soonest. And so with those few words, sir, I beg to move that head 35 stand part.
The question is that head 35 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 40, Ministry of Transport and Works, in the amount of $5 million.
Sir, as we have done over the course of the last 7 years, we have been working to ensure that the fleet of the Transport Board, sir, is not just modernized, but increased. And as we've done with respect to early this year in making deposits for the purchase of additional buses, these monies being placed at the disposal of the Transport Board now will allow us to be able to make further payments with respect to those that have already been ordered. And in the coming financial year, sir, we will make the final payments to ensure that the bus fleet with respect to the Transport Board is enhanced, and therefore be able to provide a better service to the public, and therefore the government's commitment is sound in this regard. And so with those few words, sir, I beg to move that head 40 stand part.
The question is that head 40 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 82, Ministry of Environment and National Beautification, in the amount of $19,235,792.
Mr. Chair, this provision is to facilitate, of course, the purchase of 8 additional garbage trucks, $8 million, and $3 million for our cemeteries project, which is to rehabilitate and obviously bring some beautification to our cemeteries. I think that this is important because we don't only have to respect persons when they're alive, but certainly when they have gone to the great beyond. We think that preserving their resting place is important, essential, and the $3 million allocated is for that purpose. We have the sum of $9 million broken down for our Barbados Ocean and Coastal Authority, which is $5 million. The Wetlands Trust is $1 million, and of course the Barbados Nature Conservancy Trust, which will be looking after all of our parks, and that is a total of another $3 million. And then the National Botanical Garden, another $3 million to continue the build out of not only the international sphere of the garden, but of course the National Botanical Garden, which makes up about 246 acres. And we are saying that that entire space must become one of the most beautiful oases in the land called Barbados. The sum of $1,217,000 is required to cover the removal of buildings and vehicles under our derelict program. I beg that this head stand power.
The question is that head 82 stand part. All honourable members in favour, say aye. Honourable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
83, Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security, in the amount of $8,265,847.
Mr. Chairman, the sums being requested here support two specific initiatives in relation to agriculture. The first $2.5 million, sir, is intended to ensure that we are able to help persons within the community be able to upgrade their own productive capacity, and therefore the Community Agriculture Response and Empowerment Program, sir, which will be executed through the Barbados Agriculture Development Management Corporation, sir, will be launched in the next financial year with these resources being made available to do that. In addition to that, sir, as we announced in the budget, given the intense heat associated with the climate and the impact of the heat, sir, with respect to poultry production in the country, you will recall that we announced in the budget that we will provide $5 million for BA DMC to be able to have these climate smart tunnels, broiler tunnels, to be able to help provide greater security for those small farmers in Barbados who invest in the poultry industry, but don't necessarily have the capacity to be able to upgrade to the level that is required to secure their continued investment. And therefore, these $5 million are being provided to the BADMC to be able, which will have at least arrangements in place to be able to ensure that we can further secure those investments and that the employment opportunities within that part of the economy can be secured, and therefore reduce the impact of climate change with respect to poultry production in the country. And so with those few words, I'd like to move that head 83 stand part.
The question is that head 83 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 84, Ministry of Labor, Social Security and Third Sector, in the amount of $60 million.
Mr. Chairman, as announced in the budget, sir, $55 million will be allocated to the National Insurance Scheme to make provision to grants for individuals with respect to the payment of the Solidarity Allowance. Let me take this opportunity to remind the country that for those persons, as we indicated, sir, who may not have had any particular contact with the NIS for one reason or the other, that between April and June, there will be an opportunity to be able to register with respect to the payment of the Solidarity Allowance of $300, and communication will be sent out into the public in relation to that exercise. In addition to that, sir, also in the budget, we did announce that that government itself will be voting monies into the catastrophe fund, which will be converted or repurposed, I should say, into the Resilience and Regeneration Fund. So we are taking this opportunity now, sir, to vote $5 million in relation to that effort. As you know, sir, we agreed that we will put 0.25% of GDP of the previous year, and this is the first pledge in being able to honor that. Let me take this opportunity, sir, to also indicate to the public that as we are doing these proactive measures to be able to help accelerate and bring a more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive economy, that we are also taking the opportunity as we speak to be able to pay down $38.1 million in debt this year, which is part of how we intend to manage the public resources, sir. So this is going to be important as we move forward in relation to maintaining fiscal discipline. And so with those very few words, sir, I'd like to move that head 84 stand part.
Question is that head 84 stand part. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Order 12B, sir. In the name of the Honourable Minister in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs, to move the passing of a resolution to grant the sum of $102,816,051 from the Consolidated Fund and to place it at the disposal of the government to supplement the estimates 2024 to 2025 as shown in the supplementary estimates number 5, 2024 to 2025, which form the schedule to the resolution. Head 86, Ministry of Health and Wellness, in the amount of $38,040,467.
Mr. Chairman, the sums being requested here, sir, majority of it is related to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. And let me just indicate that we have been increasing resources to the facility in order to address some of the long-standing issues that the public certainly has been raising. In that, we have been expanding, as people can attest. They've seen the expansion of the facilities. New equipment is being procured and installed, sir. And therefore, it is important that as the public recognizes that as we are listening to their concerns, the government is making resources available, sir, to be able to address those challenges. Now, let me also indicate, sir, that in relation to what we are doing with some of these specific resources, the hospital will be acquiring a new MRI machine, sir, and being able to also have the facility associated with that. In addition, sir, the completion of the infrastructure to be able to have a linear accelerator, sir, to be able to address cancer treatment in Barbados, sir, stopping people from having to travel overseas, sir, to be able to access care. This is part of what the government has been working on for some time to be able to address clearly, sir, a number of the long-standing issues, especially with non-communicable diseases and cancers in particular, sir, being able to afflict many families. And so the resources here, significant, yes, but important, sir, to improving the lives of ordinary Barbadians. And I hope that with these additional resources that the facilities can be completed soonest and that Barbadians now will have better access to treatment. And with that, sir, better outcomes with respect to living our lives. So with those few words, sir, I beg to move that head 86, stand part.
The question is that head 86 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 87, Ministry of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, in the amount of $31,833,834.
Mr. Chairman, the sums are being appropriated under the Ministry of Education range across a number of areas, but I will just focus on a couple, sir, just for the purpose of the discussion here. As we announced in the budget, sir, part of the resources being made available here to the Grade and Senior School is to facilitate, sir, the renovation of the convent site in order to have that facility being upgraded to be able to have the transition with respect to the school. I omitted, sir, earlier just by way of reference with respect to the new facility which many Barbadians would see at the Bay Street site, sir, next to the car park where persons visit Browns Beach. You would have seen what is a wonderful looking building there called Oceana. That is part of what we call the Chelsea Climate School, the Chelston Climate School, which the government has acquired property in the Chelston Park area for the construction of a facility. Earlier, I omitted that we have provided another $10 million to the BTI to be able to construct that school as part of how we clearly provide opportunities for Barbadian students, given that the climate crisis and climate change is significant for the future of Barbados. We are building resilience, and therefore we want to ensure that within our education system, sir, that we embed practical knowledge with respect to what we can do in response to climate change, and therefore we are investing in education, not just with the broader reform as we've discussed, but we're investing in education, sir, to ensure that we prepare our young people, sir, for what the future will hold. And therefore it is important that these resources are made available now in order to be able to upgrade and produce these facilities. In addition to that, sir, we are also providing additional resources for Darrell Jordan, as well as Parkinson Memorial School, which, as you may recall, sir, 2 financial years ago, we identified 6 of the critical schools that needed, as part of the reform effort, needed to have significant upgrades, and we're providing additional resources here to these 2 schools, in addition to the 6 that had gone before, in order to see, to start the upgrades of the facilities that are there. And so, sir, the government continues bit by bit to be able to ensure that where we can, we accelerate the investment, not just in healthcare, but in education, such that we can assure Barbadians that there's a future for them in this country. And so, sir, with those few words, I'd like to move that Head 87 stand part.
Question is that Head 87 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 91, Ministry of Youth, Sports and Community Empowerment, in the amount of $15 million.
Mr. Chairman, as we announced in relation to our investment for supporting sports in the country, these resources are being made available to the Sports Council, sir, for the procurement as well as installation of sports tracks to boost our athletics and other sporting ventures. And so this is in part, sir, part of the government's commitment to ensure that in addition to the work that will continue with respect to, or will commence, sorry, with respect to the development of the National Stadium, that we also have additional facilities that will ensure that our athletes will have facilities that they can train, and that with that as well, sir, that we can also have more expanded access, if you like, sir, to have additional tournaments and meets within Barbados. And so, sir, I beg to move that Head 91 stand part.
The question is that Head 91 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 92, Ministry of Energy and Business, in the amount of $5,054,800.
Mr. Chairman, as you are well aware, the government of Barbados commenced this program called the Trust Loan Fund, sir, to be able to provide opportunities for young entrepreneurs to get a credit history, especially in the early part of their business. And it is a program that we believe in, sir, and we want Barbadians to continue to utilize it, because at the end of the day, sir, in order to grow your business, you need financing. And so we're making $2 million available here to the Trust Loan Fund, as well as an additional $3 million to fund access, sir, with respect to being able to ensure there's further capitalization of those resources, which obviously fund access being for slightly larger businesses. So if you've been able to successfully transition through the Trust Loan Program, then it means that you are a natural candidate, sir, with respect to fund access. And so, sir, the government is happy to make these resources available, particularly for a number of small businesses who may require financing, and therefore putting these resources here allows many a business to be able to consider their options in relation to being able to finance, sir, their operations. And so with those few words, sir, I'd like to move to Head 92 stand part.
The question is that head 92 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Head 93, sir. Ministry of Housing, Lands and Maintenance in the amount of $12,886,950.
Mr. Chairman, the resources being requested here, it really relates to rents that were paid for February and March of this year by the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Maintenance. And so with those few words, I beg to move that head 93 stand par.
The question is that head 93 stand par. All honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that you do not report to His Honor the Speaker the passing of resolutions 4 and 5 in Standing Finance Committee.
The question is that I do not report to His Honor the Speaker the passing of resolutions 4 and 5 in Standing Finance Committee. Honorable members in favor, say aye. Honorable members against, say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
The chairman of committees has reported the passing of resolution 4 and 5 in Standing Finance Committee. Honourable member for St. Joseph.
Mr. Chairman, with that, we've come to the end of our day's business. Sorry? Oh, you're so right. Some of us are anxious. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the resolution number 4 do now pass.
4 and 5.
I beg to move that resolutions 4 and 5 be read first time.
The question is that resolutions 4 and 5 be read the first time. All those honourable members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. Methinks the ayes have it. Honourable member St. Joseph.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the said resolutions be read a second time.
No? Huh? Yes. The question is that the aforementioned resolutions be read a second time. All those honourable members in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. Methinks the ayes have it.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that the said resolutions be agreed to.
The question is that the aforementioned resolutions now pass. All those honourable members in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say no. Methinks the ayes have it. Resolutions 4 and 5 no stand pass.
Mr. Speaker, obviously members don't want us to take a little Easter break. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that we adjourn until 10 a.m. on the 22nd of April.
The question is that this honourable chairman be adjourned until the 10th day, until on the 22nd day of April 2025 at 10 a.m. in the forenoon. All those honourable members in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those against, please say no. Methinks the ayes have it. This honourable chamber stands adjourned until the 22nd day of April 2025 at 10 a.m. in the forenoon.